Is it worth spending more money on an upgraded phono stage? Or is it good enough, the phono stage that we find in, say for example, a integrated stereo amplifier? Maybe the amplifier that we've got's already got a moving magnet phono stage on board. Or could I get away with using a budget phono stage around the £100 mark, or maybe even lower? Is it worth spending more money on a phono stage? That's a very good question, and I'm going to try and answer that by showing you a new product that's just arrived quite recently at Eden Audio. It's a new brand that we've recently taken on here. But let's go back to that question. Is it worth spending more money upgrading my phono stage? Well, really, to answer that question, it depends on our turntable and the cartridge that we've got. But in general, I would say definitely it is an area worth considering. For example, my favourite phono stages, once you've upgraded, I would probably recommend these models. These are all models that I've heard, so I can actually comment on them. Many years ago I had a Creek OBH series, and I thought that was a tremendous little phono stage. It wasn't particularly expensive. I seem to remember it was just over £100, but it offered exceptional sound quality. I really did enjoy listening to that, along with, I think it was a Rega P25 I had at the time. But then moving up a little bit further, these are the phono stages that I would definitely consider if you say got for example over £400 to maybe £600 to spend. The phono stages then that I would strongly recommend are firstly anything from Edwards Audio. Now I think they offer tremendous value for money in their phono stages, whether it be moving magnet or moving coil. I really don't think you'll go wrong with the terrific sound of Edwards Audio phono stages. Another phono stage I highly recommend, it's a lovely phono stage, and that's from Sonita, and that's the Sonita Sedley. That's again moving magnet and moving coil, and the beauty of that is that you can adjust the impedances to suit the cartridge. I think that's now become a little bit more expensive, so we're talking about sort of the top range price point. I think they're about £600 or £700 now. One's got a USB port on it, so it enables you to record directly to your computer. I think that particular model is probably around £700 now. The other model I hardly recommend, around the £400, £500 price point, would be the Graham Slee Era Gold. I've been using this for probably the last year or so, and I've really enjoyed listening to that. Again, it's another phono stage that offers exceptional value for money. But today I'd like to talk to you about a new brand that's recently arrived at Eden Audio. It's a brand that I'd never actually heard of before, up until probably 3 or 4 months ago. And I must say, from what I have initially heard from this brand, I've been blown away by how good they sound. And the name of that brand is Keces Audio, and it's their product I would like to show to you today. It's called the Ephono Power and the Ephono. Now let's get the cons out of the way first, and I think I can only think of one con, and that is probably the size of it. Normally when I think of phono stages, I'm getting quite used to using phono stages that will probably be about that size. No, you can fit the phono stage in the palm of your hand, but not so with the Keces, because it comes in 2 boxes. If I can just show you there, you can see the size of them. That's one box, and the other box is like a twin of it. So again, that's probably one con to me. For other people, they probably don't mind, but to me it's probably a little bit of a con, is the size of it. They're not particularly heavy. I think one weighs 4 kilos and the other one weighs just 3. But let's go into a little bit more detail about the Keces Ephono and Epower. Now I've been listening to the Keces Audio probably for the last 4 to 5 weeks. I've been listening to it through the Edwards Audio turntable along with the Hannah phono stage, and I must say again, I'm really impressed by the performance that Keces Audio offer. You may well think that its price point of $649 sounds a lot of money, and it is a lot of money. Let's not kid ourselves. £649 for a phono stage is a lot of money. However, you get an awful lot of sound for your money. You get a very, very capable phono stage here. We are talking a very classy sounding phono stage. So again, the price is expensive, but if you've got the turntable and you've got a cartridge that can match the level of the Keces audio, then I think you'll be very impressed with just how good it sounds. Because one thing I've noticed with Keces audio is that the bass quality that they produce really is outstanding. It really is a strong feature of the brand, how well the bass is controlled and how deep and tuneful it is. And that is the case again with the Keces audio Ephono Power and the Ephono. As I say, it does come in two boxes, and I'm going to go now into a little bit more detail. So now then, let's take a closer look at the Keces audio Ephono stage, shall we? Here we have it, here in front of me. Again, the design is exactly the same as the power supply. The two match each other identically. Again, this one on the top here, it says Keces audio engraved there. It adds a touch of class and elegance to the whole design, if you ask me. There's the front panel. Again, it's got that curved front fascia. Looks very, very elegant. I really do like the styling and thought that's been put behind that. Again, it's a 3mm thick aluminium. It's made of 3mm thick aluminium. This is to prevent EMI and RFI pickup. Now let's take a closer look at the rear of the Ephono, shall we? This is where all the goodies are hidden. Now, if we look to the far left here, we notice we get this little lever here, this little screw, and it says GND. What does it mean by GND? Well, for the novices amongst us, this is referring to ground. This is where we would ground our turntable. We will notice that when we get a turntable that there's a phono cables, you get a pair of phono cables, and you'll also get another little cable, and you may be wondering what that other cable is for. That is how you ground your turntable. The reason that we ground our turntable is to stop noises such as hums and buzzing sounds. So we ground the turntable to here where it says GND on the rear of the Ephono stage. Just unscrew it like that, put our cable in behind there, screw it back up, and then we've made our grounding connection. That's very simple and very straightforward. Moving on, we see we've got an MC input and we've also got MM input. So if we've got a moving coil cartridge, we will make the connection here where it says MC in, MC for moving coil. So we will connect our moving coil here. If we've got an MM cartridge or moving magnet, then we'll connect our turntable here. If we've got a moving magnet cartridge fitted to our turntable. We can also adjust the impedance to match our moving coil cartridge. Now, to get this information, we'll need to get the specifications from the manufacturer. But here you can select the impedance to match your MC cartridge, such as 56, 100 or 220. Again, that is only if you've got a moving coil cartridge. Here is where you select the cartridge that you are using. To the left, moving coil. To the right, we just move that switch over there if we are using moving magnet cartridge. Again, we can adjust the gain of our moving coil or moving magnet cartridge. The gain is the volume. So if we feel we need more volume from our cartridge, we also have that option. Down below, for moving magnet cartridges, we can have 40, 46 or 52. If we have a moving coil cartridge, we can put in position 60, 66 or 72. That there again is if we need more gain, more volume from our cartridge. Moving along, we have unbalanced connections and also balanced connections. So we have a good option there. And to the far right here, we have the connection where we connect up the power supply. So from the Ephono power supply, we connect it just here into this little hole here. So we can see from the rear of the phono stage, we've got a comprehensive set of connections to suit whatever cartridge we may have, whether it be moving coil or moving magnet, all types of cartridges and inputs and volumes, whatever cartridge we may have, we can match it to this phono stage. So how does it sound? Well, don't ask me, try it for yourself. That's always my recommendation. I can tell you, I think it sounds absolutely fantastic. But you need to discover that for yourself. Now, Keces Audio, the chances are, like me, it's a name that you've never heard before. Up to a few weeks ago, I'd never heard of Keces Audio. But sometimes we need to think outside the box when we buy audio gear. I know generally we tend to stick to the brands that are well known, brands that are always receiving prizes, awards, or getting 5-star reviews in magazines. But as I say, sometimes it's a good idea to think outside of that box and try something a little bit different, a new name. Because I think, like me, you'll be very, very surprised at just how good this phono stage sounds. But as I say, don't take my word for it. Go and listen to it for yourself. Discover for yourself. And see if I'm right when I say I think it offers exceptional value for money. Go for yourself. Go and listen to it yourself. And decide if you also think it offers tremendous value for money. Because it really does. With all those input selections you got there, it can suit any type of cartridge that you may have. And it sounds absolutely fantastic. Now, I'm also very, very shortly going to look at the E40 stereo integrated amplifier from Keces Audio, and again I've been absolutely smitten by it, how good it sounds. It offers exceptional value for money, so please tune in where I'm very, very shortly going to be taking a closer look at another product from Keces Audio, the E40 stereo amplifier. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to this latest Eden audio presentation. I actually can hear outside it's actually finally stopped raining. I think it hasn't stopped raining here in England. The last 4, 5, 6, 7 days it hasn't stopped, non-stop raining. And I think here in Somerset, I think half of this county is probably flooded and underwater. So if you are going outside, take care, because it is extremely dangerous out there. It'll be lovely to see just a little bit of sun for 5 minutes. It won't be a warm sun, it'll probably be freezing cold still, but it'll be nice just to see that sun for a little while. So take care everybody, thank you very much again for tuning in to this channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget, keep listening to that music. Bye bye now.